magician.
Well, here it is. It's been requested. A very unique top 10 video, and this one is called Top 10 Cards That People Hate Me Using. So I did something similar several months back, which was Top 10 Decks People Hate Me Using. So this time I'm doing it with just singular cards. Hopefully it won't be too much of a repeat of that video, but here we are. It is what it is, so let's kick it off. Number 10 is a tie between every Earthbound Immortal. Okay, I don't have all 7 of them, but you get the idea. Yeah, this hatred is questionable, I know, and even I question it, considering that Earthbound Immortals are so easy to beat. And the reason this person hates them is just because they can't be attacked and can attack directly. But all I say to that is, so what? You just simply get rid of them without attacking them. Like, the way I see it, using my logic, I approach it the same way of trying to deal with a monster with battle immunity. Can't destroy it by battle, no problem, just get rid of it with a card effect. Problem solved. It's really not hard. The other thing is, like, it's a slow and inconsistent deck, like, and it can brick easily. In fact, Earthbound Immortals are one of my weakest decks, yet one time when I used them in a battle royale, I got picked on even though I wasn't the threat. Then again, this person keeps picking on me in a battle royal anyway, like, regardless of whether I'm the threat or not. So yeah, while I do kind of get it that they can cause that frustration, at the same time, I think the hatred is just unfair and unjustified, due to the fact that there are so many other ways to get rid of them, and that Earthbound decks are just very easy to beat. Plus, like, it's a gold card archetype. They have to have some kind of strong effect, as long, of course, as it's nothing too overpowered, like having a negate, or something like that. But yeah, that's that. Number 9, Rank Up Magic Numeron Force. One of my favourite rank up spell. Okay, this I do get, as yeah, it has caused some annoyance and frustration when it permanently negates the effects of other face-up cards on the field. When I bring a ranked up Utopia form out, yeah, I remember Alex and Weber's 5 expressing a lot of hate and frustration towards this card, which I get, I understand, but to be fair, it's not like it's continuously doing it to any new card that gets put on the field. Yeah, I think this is a great way to get round a load of problems, including most of a U-Link. I say most because there was that one time where I played against Weber's 5's Spiral Nightmare deck with my Utopia deck. He didn't get the full U-Link, which is just as well, because then I wouldn't have been able to play. And I used this to, like, seal the effects of those nightmare monsters, and push through. I mean, he still won though, but that was one of my favourite dueling moments ever. Yeah, regardless, I kind of get the frustration. Number 8. Whoops, I dropped it. Neos Fusion. Yeah. I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, don't think this is justified. Yeah, it does make it really easy to bring out the Neo-Spacian fusions, and it does make it too easy to bring out Rainbow Neos, and provides a layer of protection from destruction. So yeah, I do get that, but to be fair, there are so many ways to stop this card, like Ash fucking Blossom. And also get rid of the fusions without destroying them. But yeah, this is a card that's needed for the Neos archetype. Just making the contact fusions, or at least the double ones, a lot easier to bring out. It makes bringing out Rainbow Neos a lot easier to bring out, because before it just required me to be able to play lots of search cards to search for Neos polymerization and Rainbow Dragon, and obviously Rainbow Neos doesn't have any immunity to anything, it can be really annoying if I use up 3 cards to go into it and the opponent activates something like a Bottomless or a Torrential, and then I've just lost 4 cards for no reason. At least with Neos Fusion, it gives me protection from that sort of thing. So, yeah, it can be a bit annoying, I know, but it's just a necessary evil. For the archetype. Number 7, we're going back to Utopia now. Utopia the Lightning, my favourite Xyz and one of my love-hate cards. So yeah, this I do understand. It is really annoying being on the receiving end of Utopia the Lightning and not being able to activate anything when it battles. So yeah, I get it. I mean, I do like using it myself so I can attack with safety, but it is really annoying when it's used against me, with no real way to stop it except with summon negation cards, and just try to run over it with something. Once it's used up its materials. Sure, most of the time there'll only be 1, but that doesn't mean anything because it needs 2 to make its attack become 5,000. So yeah, not a lot of people like it when I bring this card out, but there's just so many situations that call for it whenever I play a deck that runs the Utopia package. So yeah, I like being able to get attacks through without worrying about battle traps or whatever. But luckily there are ways to deal with it, like outside of the battle phase, so it's not like it's completely stopping you from being able to play. Then again, it doesn't do anything to stop you from playing anyway, like outside the battle phase. But, yeah. Number 6, Exodia. Okay, this one is understandable as well, because Exodia it is a troll deck, and nobody likes troll decks. So yeah, I do get it, but at the same time, I still feel like Exodia hate is unfair and unjustified, because there are troll decks out there that are so much worse than Exodia, like every single burn deck in existence. Deck out decks, including Empty Jar, like, yeah, stalling and either using cheap burn cards and trying to deck the opponent out is just cheap, dirty, dishonourable and disrespectful. And there's Barrier Statue Stun. Yeah, those decks are a million times worse than Exodia. Now, I can understand even more if there's hate towards Exodia FTK. I mean, I hate Exodia FTK as well. That's the only variant of Exodia that I hate and will never, ever play, because fuck FTK decks. Whereas mine is just a very simple build that involves using Emissary, Sangan and Witch to search for the pieces, and running some somewhat generic links to get those monsters from the field to the graveyard, and get their search effects going. Like, that's the strategy I use, and it's not even what you call a good strategy. I mean, I'm sure there are Exodia decks that are much better than mine, maybe even the Heart of the Underdog one, but I like to keep things simple. Plus, Exodia is technically a classic boss monster, and I'm a fan of classic boss monsters, as you know. So yeah, Exodia is the only troll deck that I actually like and will happily play. I do like Destiny board, of course, but I've never played it in real life. I've only had games with it on Edo Pro, but yeah, Exodia and Destiny boards are actually the only troll decks that take skill to play. Well, more so Destiny board, but yeah, unlike things like Chain Burn and Nurse Burn or whatever, Exodia does take skill, whereas burn decks take no skill at all. I mean, anyone can chain a bunch of traps and quick play spells and do lots of burn damage. Like, it's really not hard. It is a cheap, easy win strategy, whereas Exodia can easily be disrupted by things like card destruction and hand destruction and even banish cards. Like, if any of the pieces get banished, then I just auto lose. I mean, I do have ways to recover the pieces if they go to the graveyard, like with Pot of Avarice, Jar of Avarice and Wee Witch's Apprentice, but if they get banished, that's it, game over. So yeah, unlike in the anime, Exodia really isn't unstoppable. Number 5, Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Okay, this I do kind of get, because it does make it so that my back row can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and I know that that's really frustrating, like if I have it with Eternal Soul and Circle, but the thing is, like, I'm not even doing anything to stop you from being able to play. Like, unlike anyone who plays Dragoon deck. I mean, I love how some people complain about Dragon Knight, yet other Dark Magician players who complained about this card play Dragoon, which is a million times worse. Now that is an auto win button that stops anyone from playing, whereas With Dragon Knight, like I said, I'm not even doing anything to stop you from playing. Yeah, I know it's frustrating, but Dragon Knight is needed to protect my back row. Otherwise, opponents will just take advantage of the weakness of Eternal Soul and try going after that just to get rid of my monsters. And if my back row keeps getting wiped, especially Eternal Soul, it makes it really hard for me to be able to play. Plus the other thing is, I can't even get this out that consistently. Like, no matter how many ways there are to do it, like, I don't always see the cards to bring it out. But then again, it's fine, because, like, it's not a one-card strategy. There are plenty of other ways that Dark Magician can win, or just other fun stuff they can do. And as for Circle, well, I don't even use it for disruptive purposes. Like, I only ever use it to either... I only ever use it for defensive purposes, getting rid of back row, or getting rid of monsters that I can't get rid of any other way. Either that, or use it if it gives me an opportunity to win the duel right there and then. Otherwise, I don't want to resort to using Circle, really. So, yeah, while I do understand the hate towards Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight, like, at the same time, I think it's a little bit unfair and unjustified. Number 4, Rainbow Neos. Yeah, it's just amazing, like, how many people I know hate Rainbow Neos, and it's just like, what is your beef with my third favourite monster? Seriously, like, Rainbow Neos did nothing wrong. I guess they're just annoyed because, like I said, Neos Fusion makes it too easy to summon, whereas the first and third effects are annoying. Well, mainly the third effect, okay. Again, I get it and understand it, but yeah, there are just so many ways to easily counter Rainbow Neos. I mean, regardless of what it shuffles back, you still have the cards in a different location to be able to fight back with. Yeah, it does mess up graveyard strategies, but you can easily bounce back and set the graveyard up again. Like, furthermore, like I said earlier, you can just get rid of it without destroying it. Like, either that, or you bait out the layer of protection that is Neos Fusion, and then use another card destroying effect to get rid of it. Or just run it over with a stronger monster somehow, like Utopia the Lightning, for instance. But yeah, other than that, like, Rainbow Neos doesn't even do anything to stop you from playing. Like, it's not like it has a negate, plus it doesn't even have any immunity from anything. And no, Neos Fusion does not count. I'm talking about inherent immunity. Like, so yeah, unlike negates and monsters that shut down special summons, Rainbow Neos is perfectly fair and balanced, and no one can tell me otherwise. Number 3, Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. Okay, this one is a lot more understandable. Like, I do understand the hate for this card, and it actually gave Destiny Heroes a bad name. I don't hate Destiny Heroes anymore, and I don't hate DPE, but I can understand how annoying the card is. Like, again, it's too easy to summon, and it's just far too disruptive, just destroying anything on either player's turn, and then bringing itself back on the next turn if it gets destroyed. Yeah, I know that's a lot to piss anyone off, and I just hate that this is what Destiny Heroes have become, DPE deck. Hence why I got bored of playing them and sold the deck. Yeah, with or without Verte Anaconda, it is really frustrating. I didn't want to resort to bringing out this card too much when I was playing Destiny Heroes, but just too many situations just called for it. Hence why I got bored of playing it. I mean, I did try and do other things, like use the older fusions like Dystopia and Dominance, but yeah, like I said, it's too many situations called for DPE. I mean, who knows, maybe if this card does get banned one day, maybe Destiny Heroes will be more enjoyable, but who knows? I mean, it's unlikely, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, see, these last two I'm actually going to talk about at the same time, because they do near enough the same thing. So, in at number 2 is Blackwing Full Armor Master, and in at number 1 is Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. Both of these cards have the same first effect, where they're unaffected by card effects. So yeah, the hate for this card, I do understand. I get it. It's really annoying being on the receiving end of them. Yeah, and it does cause a lot of problems. I get that. I understand that. Like, I've been on the receiving end of them too and struggled, but to be fair, they're really not that hard to deal with, because for one thing, it's not like they have negation effects, so besides being unaffected by card effects, they're not doing anything to stop you from playing. I don't really agree with anyone who says that Full Armor Master is an auto-win button, because almost every time I played my Blackwings in a Battle Royal, I'd keep getting my arse kicked by either Cyber Dragons or Plunder Patrol, even when I get this card out, because Cyber Dragon Infinity just ruins me, or Plunder Patrol just brings out a whole bunch of beat sticks with insane attack points and just run this card the fuck over. And then I can't bounce back. So that proves that this is not an auto-win button, and that this card is so easy to deal with. Another thing that was complained about was permanently taking control of a monster, but how is that any different from number 11 Big Eye? Like, it does the same thing. Right, sure, Big Eye can only do it twice and can't attack in the same turn, but other than that, it's not much different. Okay, so yeah, this is a bit better than Big Eye, but it's still not that different, really. And don't forget, it needs wedge counters on a monster to be able to take control of it and even destroy it in the end phase. Alright, yeah, Auster gives me easy access to them, but I don't always see that card, and I'm forced to bring this card out through other means. The other thing is, going for full armor master isn't even the only thing I do, or any Blackwing player does when it comes to playing Blackwings. You know, it's not a one-card strategy. You know, there are plenty of other things they can do, like spam out the level 6s or level 7s, or even go for Blackwinged Assault Dragon. So, you know, there are plenty of other things Blackwings can do. And as for Ultimate Falcon, well, yeah, I guess it's a little bit harder to get rid of than Full Armor Master. And yeah, it is particularly annoying in Raid Raptors, considering it has the added effect of where if it has a Raid Raptor underneath it as a material, it makes opponents' monsters lose 1,000 attack every single turn, or if there is no face-up monster, they take 1,000. But again, keep in mind that that only applies if there is a Raid Raptor underneath it. Otherwise, without one, it's just a 3/5 beat stick that's unaffected by card effects. But even so, both these cards aren't even that difficult to take down. Like, you just kaiju them or destroy them in battle with a stronger monster. There's just so many that can take it down, like Utopia the Lightning, every Blue Eyes Ultimate Fusion monster, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, Rainbow Neos, you know, just anything with more than 3,500 attack points, or in the case of Full Armor Master, anything with more than 3k. Plus the other thing is, you can just simply negate the summon of Full Armor Master with like a Solemn card or a Horn of Heaven card. Whereas with Ultimate Falcon, you can also just negate the rank up spell that's activated to try and bring it out. Alright, yeah, you're not always going to see these cards, but at least the options are there, and are a lot easier to deal with than a negate. It has been said that like some can deal with a negate, but not these cards. But for me, I find it's the exact opposite. I mean, if these cards get dropped on me, I can easily overcome them. Because again, they don't have any negation effects, and you know, I can easily get out a monster that can overpower them in terms of attack points, and you know, boom, problem solved. Like, I think my signature free decks, there are monsters in my signature free decks that can easily deal with these cards, no problem. That's it. Utopia double, that's another out to it. Double, search Double or Nothing, regular Utopia, which comes out at 5k and can just easily run these guys over, with or without Double or Nothing. So yeah, they are tricky to deal with, but I promise you, you can overcome them. Whereas I always struggle with a negate. Like, I just auto-lose against them, because they're the real auto-win buttons. Sure, you could argue that one negate is kind of easy to deal with, and to be fair, like, if there's one, and you are lucky enough to bait a negate, then yeah, it is easy to turn the duel around. That I will agree with, so I do acknowledge that. But other than that, baiting doesn't work. Like, believe me, I have tried. It does not work. And as a result, like, regardless of whether there's 1, 2, or several negates on the field, I just end up trying to bait a negate, but the opponent is just too smart and they just won't negate what I want them to negate, and then I just end up wasting resources, and then I just end up auto scooping up because I can't do shit. I mean, I'm not trying to change anyone's mind here. I'm just simply saying that, you know, that these two cards really aren't that hard to deal with. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. I don't want to get into this debate too much, because I'm just bored of it and don't want to hear it anymore. So I'm hoping that this debate can just be dropped. Because yeah, I've said all I have to say on it. And yeah, that's the list. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Magician YouTube channel.